Everybody, it's me, Angel Benton, and it is time for another edition of Angel Sudsy Recap, where we delve into the world of daytime television, and we do a few reality shows on the side. And one of those reality shows that we're doing is the return of Below Deck. And not Below Deck Med, because that just finished, but this is at the old school Caribbean Below Deck. You know, what's really interesting is that, right now there's a lot of people are genuinely concerned about the residents of Florida because of Hurricane Irma, which is rightfully so. And it's because that's actually where like everyone from Below Deck lives in Florida. So I'm very curious to see, because I follow not all of them, but I follow a few of them on Twitter. And it's interesting to see their reactions to the storm, not just because they're Florida residents, but also because they have been in the Caribbean, where there are hurricanes every single year in the Caribbean, right? We just don't get, landfall every single year here in the United States. Of course, this year's been pretty bad already with Hurricane Harvey, but I digress. Okay, so let's talk about Below Deck. Now, you remember last year, Hottie with the Body, Kyle, and how I actually got to interview him. Well, he's not on the show this year. Womp womp. Maybe next year. But, in fact, the only people returning are 3 people. Obviously, Captain Lee. Captain Lee has been with the show since season 1. He is the consistent captain for Below Deck. Okay, so great. I'm down with that. And I like Captain Lee a lot, actually, my mom likes him a lot. But he's married and happily married, so congratulations, Captain. That's wonderful. Okay, so, and then there's Kate. I love me some Kate. I love the Chief Stews. I love Kate and I love Hannah. Like, I love the two of them. Like, I feel like the two of them could just power a boat on their own. You know what I'm saying? Like, the two of them, they could do anything, And then there's Nico. Oh, and FYI, Hannah's not on this episode. Hannah's on Below Deck Med, but she's the Chief Stew for Below Deck Med. And then Kate is the Chief Stew for Below Deck. And I love me some Kate. So then there's Nico. Now, there was not a reunion show for Below Deck Med last year, which is a little strange. Because normally the progression for a series is there's no reunion the first season. Second season, they have a Watch What Happens Live Clubhouse reunion. And then the third season, they both bust out into a full-on reunion, like in a set. And then for the next season, it's usually the same. Like, that's pretty much how it stays. But then last season, there was no reunion show. And it makes me wonder, what are some of the reasons why there was no reunion show? Now, people have asked Andy Cohen about it. They'd be like, why isn't there a reunion for Below Deck? And he's like, I didn't make that decision. So someone else up at Bravo must have said, what's going on? We don't, and maybe they, and it makes me wonder. So, Nico has had some personal turmoil, with his family. He lost his brother. And that was right around the time that the show was ending. So that was kind of right around when they would have done the reunion last year. Because remember when I had Kyle, and Kyle's like, I'm just going to let him grieve. I'm not going to talk about Nico. Right? Because that was what he was talking about, was his brother. So, okay, that's cool. But then again, maybe they had already planned to bring Nico back next season, and they didn't want to have a reunion because they wouldn't have any control, or at least they wouldn't have as much control over what's being said at the reunion. And maybe some behavior that happened off camera, we wouldn't be able to find out about if there was no reunion. And then it would make it a lot easier for the audience to accept Nico the next year. I'm just saying. That's a possibility as well. I don't know why there was no reunion, but I know that I have some theories, so that's why. So here's the thing with Below Deck that really kind of makes me shudder recently is that I've been noticing a trend, and this is with Below Deck and with Below Deck Med. Their big thing now is let's put people we know in charge. So we've got Captain Lee, we've got Kate, and we've got Nico. And then let's give them totally green crew with no experience at all. I mean, especially on the deck crew. I mean, with the stews, this, I hate to say that because that makes it sound like, no, it's, but if you want to learn and you're a good learner and you pick up things fast and you can do it, I don't think Kate would have a problem if you worked for her, if you didn't have any experience, as long as you knew you'd be putting in long hours all the time. You'd be doing all kinds of crazy things and crappy things that you wouldn't normally do. And that you would, just you're still an employee despite the fact that, you are on television as a star. That part's secondary, right? As long as you understand all those things and you give her 100%, I think you're fine. But in the deck crew, there's a certain level of skill needed, I think, because you can be all those things on the deck crew, but if you don't know something, the deck crew is really important. That the boat will sink if you don't do your shit. Like, if you're not on top of it, the boat will go right down. And then everyone will die and the $1 million boat will be lost. You've got to really be on it in terms of knowing what's going on. So, for example, oh my God, the new guy, the Latin guy, I don't remember what his name is. I'm sure I'll remember as the series goes on. But the new Latin guy, he's from Portugal, okay? And he speaks 3 languages. Okay, that's good. That's good. I'm assuming they're probably Portuguese, Spanish, and English, because they're the 3 most alive. I doubt they're anything other than that, so we'll see. But, he's like, I'm real good at customer service. Okay, right there, stop right there. The minute he said that, I'm thinking, you know who the last guy that said they were really good at customer service was? Danny. Okay? Customer service, it really doesn't belong on the deck crew. I'm sorry. Like, it should be like a secondary or a tertiary trait that you've got, but it shouldn't be your primary trait. If the main reason you're like, because I'm good at customer service, that's not good for the deck crew. I'm sorry. That's bad. Because that shows like I've got no experience. I have no, he's like, I've worked on cruise ships, but there is a huge, and ask Kate about this because, Leon did worked on cruise ships too. Beef cheek, Leon. The thing is that there is a huge difference between a cruise ship with tons of staff, and they can break down every single job into the littlest minutiae for every single person to handle, and then they just have to do that job and do that job well, as opposed to being on a yacht with a much smaller crew, and they've got to do a lot. Right? So he's like, it doesn't matter what job I'm in. I'm like, oh my God. So this is someone, to me, that says this is someone that wants to be on television. Okay. Got it. And listen, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be on TV at all. I just want to throw that out there too. I'm not judging people that want to be on television. However, in this particular show, I would hope you would want to be on TV and have some reasonable experience as a deck crew, right? They're all green. One has done 1 cruise, and the guy that's done 1 cruise is the blonde guy. I don't know. I don't remember his name either, but I think he's missing a tooth, and it's because if he's just, giving interviews and he's talking straight on, you would never know. You would never know. But on some of the scenes in the action shots, you can see that he opens his mouth and then you see that there's a tooth missing. And that's a little distracting just for me, because my OCD, I'm constantly like, oh my god, that guy doesn't have a tooth. Wonder how his tooth got lost. What happened to that tooth? What happened to him that he didn't lose it, that he lost his tooth? So I mean, like that. That's just me going crazy. But he's done one cruise, one yacht or charter before. And then the chick who is the most experienced, she hasn't worked in 2 years and she only did it, so she has a little bit of experience, but she's not the most, I think she's a lesbian, I think. I'm not sure. Whatever. She's very hippy dippy trippy, But like the point is, and then the two stews have zero stewardess experience. Now, hopefully, I mean, one of them, oh my God, she's a little bit of a deer in the headlights. The single mom, I don't know if she's single or not, but she's the mom. I don't know. They haven't gotten that far, but she's the mom. She is a mess. She is a mess. And maybe she gets better as the season goes on. So this is just episode 1. So it could get better. And then, the other one is not that bad. So that's what I'm saying in terms of not having any experience. It's definitely daunting for Kate because she knows now I've got to teach all of these people. But I don't know. I think that if you just say, look, Kate, I'm so sorry, but I don't have any experience. If you just show me something one time, I should be able to get it because I won't let you leave until I make sure that I understand it, and then we're good. And then that's it. And then I'll know that that's expected of me. You know what I'm saying? If you just say something like that to her, I'm sure she'd be fine with that. So anyways, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how this season is going to go because, how would Dorinda say? Not well, bitch. Oh, God, I cracked myself up. Okay, anyways, thank you so much for logging on today. I do appreciate it. Please feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Angel Benton. You can hashtag Below Deck to talk Below Deck, or you can hashtag Jackson Brittany to talk Jackson Brittany, which we're doing a little later today, actually. Thank you so much, everyone. You have a wonderful night. Peace out. Wubba, wubba, wubba.